though they constantly, uh, though they constantly pretend to want nothing less than conflict, though they continue to evince horror at the thought that, there are terrorists and insurrectionists among us, who are they fooling? I mean, every satire of the press that's ever been made has basically had one point in the end, which is that the people who supposedly cover conflict neutrally are really the biggest cheerleaders for it because it creates a demand for their product. I mean, the oldest Ohio uncle sitting on the porch will tell you it sells papers. But now, as you say, it's not that it sells papers, it pleases someone at the top. It pleases the real client, which seems to be the national security state. I mean, as I say, the audience, I think, is just left sort of slack-jawed at this spectacle. But they are competing for dog treats from above, and that is indeed who they're speaking to and performing for. And they're helping us down this path of ceaseless apprehension, political conflict, perhaps civil conflict. Imagine that someone had fired off a gun at the Trump arraignment or come screaming through a barrier in a car. Would they have been horrified by that? Would they have wished it had never happened? Would they, as Americans, say, what a sad day? Or would they have leapt on it like ants on a dropped croissant? I mean, and only wish
Zagnut.
Dropped Zagnut. Their bloodthirstiness is no longer hidden from anyone, perhaps, but themselves. And portraying this upcoming presidential campaign, whose shape is taking form before our eyes as a proto-civil war, which is what they're doing. I can moralize about it being irresponsible, but we're past the point at which responsibility and notions of civil morality restrain anybody. We're headed for something, and just as I was able to confidently predict that the Trump arraignment would be an excuse to start monitoring, filtering, and reading Twitter threats on the air, I can tell our audience with my real integrity intact that something bad is going to come. And it's not going to come because for the reasons that they're talking about. It's going to become because the country is being turned into a tinderbox by the people who pretend to be neutral. They are the strongest actors in this play. I don't see people out on the street engaging in this. I don't hear people screaming at each other in restaurants. The source of this is the people who are supposedly observing, and the observers have become the actors.